Today is the 11th of March 2001. Last week we was talking about sitting meditation. So for today, I would like to talk about walking meditation and general practice in our daily life. Generally, there are 6 sections of walking meditation, but in here I just would like to talk about some of those. When you practice walking meditation, your hand should be locked together in front of you or behind. Then look at in front of you about 4 or 5 feet. If you look at straight, it's too far. Your mind will be distracted. So if you look at your foot, look at your legs, you will feel dizzy and fatigue on your neck. So when you practice walking meditation, you should look at in front of you about 4 or 5 feet. That's good enough. And also open your eyes, have just the purpose to be able to see your walking path ahead. As during walking meditation, this is the movement of the foot is our primary object. When we sit meditation, our primary object is maybe the rising, falling of our abdomen, or maybe on our nostril, breathing in, breathing out. As part for the walking meditation, primary object is the movement of our legs or our foot. And first of all, you should be aware of the standing position when you stand. Start keeping your attention from your head to the soul by noting that standing, 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 or maybe 4 or 5 times. Each time, if it's more than that, that's fine. And your noting should be neither slow nor quick. Then you would want to start your walking. Just be aware of your intention. This is very important. Just be aware of your intention and make a mental note. Intending, intending, intending. After that, you have to practice walking meditation. And when you practice walking meditation, in each step, attention should be fixed on the movement from the point of lifting the legs to the point of putting down. Start by making a mental note. That's walking, walking, walking. For the first section, just first step, you just make a mental note of walking, 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 walking. And your walking step and noting mind should be the coincident, should be together simultaneously. This is very important too. It's a bit by pair. It's very important for you to be aware of every movement, in each step from the beginning to the end of your step. Should be present moment. It's not mean you already walk and you may know later on walking is not correct. Should be the same time your walking step and the noting mind should be the same time. And during walking meditation, should any painful feelings occurs, and then what do you have to do at that moment? Stand up, stop your walking for a while, and be aware of this the painful feeling, and make a mental note. If you pain, just pain. It's not mean when you practice walking meditation, even you feel the painful feeling, you just observe your mind on the walking only. It's not correct. Because we practice this the mindfulness meditation. Sometimes we contemplate on the body, the movement of your body, sometimes sensation, sometimes about the mind. So that's why any painful feeling occurs during the walking meditation, stop for a while and be aware of this painful feeling and contemplate on that pain. After pain disappears, and then continue your walking meditation. I should sometimes any mental state of mind, such as you think about something, maybe your mind starts wander. At that moment, be mindful of this, that you're thinking or you're wondering, and make a mental note, just thinking, or wandering. After that, you continue your walking meditation. Just that during walking meditation, we have to apply our mindfulness on this painful feeling and any mental state too, as the case may be. This last week we was talking about this noting or naming or labeling. This the naming, the noting, the word we say, just thinking, wandering, or walking, and so on. It's not important so much, but the important thing is to observe our minds, the movement of our foot when we practice walking meditation. And when you reach to the end of your walking path, and then you stop for a while and make a mental note, standing. This means you realize yourself all the time. Right? Make standing for a while, and then when you noting the standing, your mind should be aware of this standing position. It's not just the standing you see in your mind. It's not right. Your attention should be kept on the standing position. Standing position is meant from your head to your soul. The standing. And after you make standing, you will want to turn around. If you want to turn around, be aware of your intention. And then you will make a mental note, intending about 4 or 5 times. And then you will have to turn around. When you are turning around, just do it slowly. And know, turning. This the turning and the noting mind should be constant, and make the turning until you be at the position you want. And then you stop for a while and make a mental note, standing for 4 or 5 times. The time we practice meditation, we don't need to be hurry about anything. Just make it slowly. And when you intend to walk again, it's no intending. So intending, then proceed your walking back and forth as usual. This is for the techniques to practice walking meditation. What we're talking about so far about insight vipassana meditation, we're just talking about the basic, how to practice the right way. And later on we will study about why we have to make a mental note, why we have to make realize be aware of our intention, and so on. We will understand it later when we're talking about the knowledge of this meditation. After you practice this walking meditation with one section, so if you just as a regular meditator, just practice walking meditation for twice a day, something like that, it's maybe only one section may be enough. But in meditation retreat, we have 6 sections to practice. After we familiar with the first section, you'll be able to concentrate your minds very well. And then we have to go to 2 sections. The 2 sections just lifting and dropping. Just for the knowledge, okay? Or mostly when we practice meditation, we just use some of those. Mostly just for the first section, just walking. And another section, most meditators, their practice is lifting, pushing, dropping. These 3 sections. But here's for knowledge. You want to try one stage to one stage, one section to one section. So I would like to tell you briefly. So for the 2 sections, this means for one step, you have to be aware of the movement of your legs and make a mental note 2 times. When you leave your legs, you make a mental note, lifting, and pause for a while, and you drop. When you drop your legs, be aware of the dropping of your leg. You make a mental note, dropping. So just lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. When you lift your leg, it's not too high. It should be normal. Just lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. You can practice that back and forth. After you familiar with this two section, really in meditation center, meditation master, they advise meditator to practice that one section for a few days. After familiar with one section, we go to a second section, and lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. This means for one step you'll be able to aware of this the movement of your legs 2 times. And after you familiar with this 2 section, and you go to 3 section. This 3 section is very useful for everyone, meditator. When you practice this 3 section, you should slow down your walking. For the walking, just only walking. You do not need to slow down too much. But for the 3 section, slow down your walking step and practice in 3 section in 1 step. And when you're about to lift your foot, and say to yourself, intending. And when you lift it, be mindful of the lifting. And make a mental note that's lifting, and pause for a while, for 1 or 2 seconds. When you push your legs forward, note as pushing. So, every the end of sections, pause for a while. Then you have to drop your foot down. And when you drop your foot down to the floor, just be mindful of that drop. This mindfulness should be, follows the Aries movement. And know that's dropping. See that? Dropping. So that when you drop in your legs, you say dropping. Once the practice 3 section, so as I told you, should notice that a pause occurs at the end of each section. Just lifting and pause, pushing, pause, and dropping, is pause, maybe a few seconds. And also should be noticed that after you completely make the treading one foot on the floor, then lift up to begin the next step. If you not practice this walking meditation, you cannot make it the right way. Mostly when you walking, for example, just lifting, pushing, and dropping. When you're dropping, the next step already lift. Remember, already lift. Your heel already lift up. It's not right. Should be completely make treading one foot on the floor, and then lift up to begin the next step, this correct way. Otherwise, you cannot gain concentration. That should be perfect. If you are going to sit meditation for more than 1 hour, such as on your one-day silent retreat, or weekend retreat, or intensive meditation retreat, so every session of sitting must be preceded by walking meditation. This one point, you should be careful, because since the movement of the foot is more distant than abdominal movement. See, abdomen is just rising, falling. It's not predominant. To the distance, but the walking, the movement of the foot is more distant. Therefore, you can easily attain some degree of concentration more than in sitting. But if you just sitting meditation for 45 minutes, 1 hour, less than 1 hour, is walking meditation, maybe it's not necessary. So you want, you can do it so for 5 minutes, something like that. And if more than 1 hour, this must be preceded by walking meditation. By gradually, just when your meditation practice mature, you may need sitting meditation for longer than walking. You know, when you go to meditation center for a 10-day retreat or a month, something like that, when your meditation practice become mature, you can sit even a few hours. Maybe if you just practice walking meditation, maybe 1 hour, maybe 45 minutes. Your concentration just going good. But normally, when you practice a one-day retreat or a few-day retreat, something like that, should be at least, practice walking meditation 1 hour and continues your sitting meditation 1 hour. At least for the sitting meditation 7 times, for the walking meditation 7 times a day is required. And when you happen to practice walking meditation in a small space or in your room, these 6 sections of walking meditation is very useful. It's very useful. Sometimes you cannot go to any meditation center. We need to practice at our home, in our room, too small. So you just practice walking, just 4 or 5 steps. End up your walking. You will, get dizzy. You should be slowly at that moment. Slowly, just 6. We need to know this. The 6 section of walking meditation is very useful. So before we're talking about this 6 section, so I would like to continue to start about 4 sections. Now we already talked about 3 sections, like lifting, pushing, dropping. And for the 4th section, when you stand, you make standing as usual, standing. When you intend to walk, you make a mental note, intending. Now, You lift up your heel, and then you make a mental note, heel up. Your attention on your heel right now, heel up. When you lift it, hold your leg, you see, lifting. And when you push forward, just pushing. When it's dropping, you say dropping. So heel up, stop for a while. And lifting, stop for a while. Stop for 1 second, at least. And pushing, pause a second, and dropping. After you completely make treading on the foot, one foot on the floor, and you will start heel up. The next step, heel up, lifting, pushing, dropping. So just practice back and forth. After you're familiar with this 4 section, you can go to the 5 section. The 5 section is standing, you just make standing. You intend to walk, you just make intending. When place to walk, when you lift your heel, you see, make a mental note, just heel up. You lift your legs, just lifting. And push forward, just pushing. When you lower your legs, you start lowering. When you tread on the floor, you make treading. So just heel up, lifting, pushing, lowering, treading. 5 sections. So the end of this section, a pause should be noticed. Right? 5. For the 6th section, this is very important section. Now for me, when I practice meditation in my room upstairs for 3 months, I used that. For the 6th section. And the 6th section is for about 10 or 15 feet from one side to other side. It may take for 1 minute or more. See, simply standing, start. When you make a mental note of standing, just keep your attention from your head to your soul, with noticing that standing. When you intend to raise your heel, just make a mental note that's intending. At the time you raise your heel, be aware of it and label it as heel up. Just heel up, you will lift up your heel, and the noting mind should be the same time. And when you lift your foot, be aware of the lifting, and say to yourself, lifting. When you push your foot forward, be aware of pushing, and say, pushing. When you lower your foot, be aware of the lowering, and say in your mind, lowering. It's not touched the floor yet. When your foot touches the floor, be aware of the touching, and make a mental note that's touching. But before you begin the next step, you happen to press your first foot. So, at the time of pressing, be aware of it and say, pressing. See, 6 steps. Heel up. Right? For the 6 steps means step briefly, step besides the standing or intending. The 6 sections mean for the 1 step you have to be aware of and make a mental note for 6 terms, such as heel up, pause 1 second, lifting, pause 1 second, pushing, pause 1 second, lowering, pause 1 second, reach touch floor, touching. And before you start the next step, you need pressing. So pressing. And then start 1 step. So for 10 or 15 foot in your room, maybe 2 minutes. See, 10 times 20 minutes. Some may have an hour. Depend. As much as you can, you practice this, the 6 section. Just after you're familiar with the 6 section, maybe you can, you can close your eye very slowly. Because before you reach to the end of your walking path, maybe door, or maybe wall, you can feel that, almost close, about to close, and you stop, and then standing, you might intending and turning, but slowly. So maybe 3 hours you can walk that, but if you have great concentration, you just think about maybe about 45 minutes. Really, it's not. Start 3 hours already, something like that. This for the 6th section of walking meditation. So if you want to do, if you have confidence about yourself, you'll be able to know more than that. It's not only 6 section. For example, try to do that when you one day retreat, something like that, at home. Try to do that. When you stand, you may standing. And when you intend to walk, you're intending for 5 times. When you start to lift your heel, you start heel up. And then you know that you are heel up right now, right? You know that. You make a mental knowing. So you know that. And when you lift your foot, you start lifting. And say knowing. When you push forward, just pushing, knowing. You know that. In every step. When you lower your legs, it's lowering, it's knowing. When you touch the floor, you make touching, knowing. When you pressing, knowing. So it's not 6 steps, become how many mental notes? 12 mental notes. It's very detailed. Your mind's no time to wander at that moment, because you have to be careful about the movement. Every movement, in detail, you know in detail every stages. So very useful for, intensive meditation retreat, just for a walking meditation. So now I would like to talk about from the standing to sitting. It's not when practice walking meditation, or very in detail. I will finish that. You lose your mindfulness and then you just walk to the place you're going to sit and sit meditation. It's not right. It's not right. Right? So after you have practiced this walking meditation, you should continuously proceed sitting meditation. So you know where you sit meditation, you already arrange for the place you sit meditation, and you walk slowly, to the place you're going to sit meditation. And then now you intend to sit. When you intend to sit down, just make a mental note, intending. Then you sit down slowly. And keep the mind on the downward movement of the body and note that sitting down. It should be slowly. After you already sit down on the floor, you must notice every movement in bringing hands and legs into position. It's not you sit right away, just continue sitting meditation. It's not like that, You need, when you sit, you have to move, you have to arrange for your sitting. That's why we need to notice every movement in bringing hands and legs into position until you are ready to sit meditation. And your sitting position is you already arranged, and then you intend to close your eye. Right? You intend to close your eye. When you intend to close your eye, you have to make a mental note. So intending. When you close your eye, just close it. Now you are ready. So as soon as you are settled in new position, just continue with contemplation of the abdominal movement or breathing in, breathing out. Depend what is your main object. This from the standing to sitting, how we have to be aware of. And from the sitting to the standing, we have to know that it's not, when you finish, just get up and go somewhere. It's not right. So when you want to finish your sitting meditation, you may want to open your eyes. Then make a mental note, intending. When you open your eyes, be mindful of the opening and know opening. Now you open your eye already. When you intend to stand up, just know intending. When you stand up, the act of rising up should be carried out slowly, like you sitting down, like as a sick person. A sick person must be cautious and move slowly to avoid pains. That's why a few weeks ago I told all of you that meditator will practice meditation should act like a sick person. That should be slowly. You should always try to keep slow motion in all actions, whatever you do. You stand up or sitting down or lying down or walking, whatever. Should be slowed down in all actions. Every act of changing position from sitting to standing should be aware of every movement. For example, when you lift your hand, now you already open your eye, right? Lift your hand, just lifting, lifting, lifting. And each move is just moving, moving, moving. If your hands touch with the floor, just be aware of the touching. It should not only just use the word, make a mental. Just you should be aware of the touching. And then another hand, you have to lift it, lifting. When you move, it's moving, moving, moving. When your hand touches the floor, just touching. And then to be able to lift your legs, you have to press your right press. When you press, just pressing. So your intention on your start, you're pressing. You make a mental pressing, pressing. After that, you will try to stand up. When you stand up, just rising up, rising up, rising up, or standing up, make it slowly. Every movement should be made a mental note, as the case may be, until you already stand up. And then you're standing, and continue your walking. This is from the sitting to the standing. And from the sitting to lying down, maybe at night, before you go to bed, you sit meditation. So out of sit meditation, maybe you want to lying down. Or even the daytime, you practice the whole day long. You practice standing meditation, walking meditation, sitting meditation. Now you want to stretch your body, practice lying down meditation for a while. So in this case, from the sittings to lying down, every movement get involved in the act of changing position from sitting to lying down, should be aware of it and know as the bending. When you from sitting to lying down, you bend down your body. At that moment, you be aware of the bending. You make a mental note, that's the bending, bending. When you sway your body, be aware of the swaying. And make a mental note, swaying, swaying. When your hands press to the floor, to be aware of the pressing, make a mental note, it's the pressing. And then your body will touch the floor. Or your head touch your pillow. And then you make a mental note, touching. So you know every movement. You know about the sensation of touching. You have to be mindful about that. And you must notice every movement in bringing hands and legs into position. When you're lying down, you bring your hand or your legs into position. So you just move, just moving. You lift, just lifting. When you touch together, just touching. So dance, make a mental note, rising, falling. If you observe on your abdomen, or if you observe on your nostril, just make breathing in, breathing out. Or just be aware of the sensation of touching on nostril. Or maybe without observing on the rising, falling, or breathing and breathing out, you can observe your mind on the lying and touching. When you know, you will make a mental note of lying. Keep your mind on the whole body of lying posture, from head to feet. It's the lying. Right? When you notice the touching, that keep your attention on the touching of any part of your body and floor. Alternately, such as your head and pillow. Maybe your hand and the floor. It's your leg and floor. Or maybe both of your hands touching each other. Maybe both of your legs touch each other. Maybe your leg and your abdomen, your bodies. So when you say touching, should observe as touching, should be alternately. You say lying, touching. The first touching maybe your head and pillow. You say lying, touching, maybe your back and floor. Next time you will lying, touching, maybe both of your hands. Maybe it's lying, touching. The touching is both of your leg. Something like that, So lying, touching. Or you just make lying, only, that's fine. Or just touching. Be aware of the sensation of touching only, that's fine. So depend how many times the note is noting is you can receive it. It's comfortable for you. With someone maybe just rising, falling, lying, touching, maybe fall for someone. Depend. As someone just rising, falling. So either one, it's the technique you can use. Either one. We have a lot here. Just for the sitting to the lying down. For the standing meditation, because we have posture of meditation, right? Now we are already talking about sitting meditation, walking meditation, this lying meditation. We already know. If you want to do is to put both of your hands on your abdomen when you're lying down, just rising, falling, that's fine. Right? Just lying only, or lying, touching, that's fine. For lying down meditation. For the standing meditation, when you practice walking meditation, the end of your walk path, stand as long as possible, and be aware of the standing posture, and make a mental note. Standing. This depends on you, or how long it's comfortable for you. You can do that. So, when we say standing only, that's fine. Right? Or standing, touching. Both, that's fine. You can use either one, or just standing and touching. When you know as standing, keep your attention from your head to foot. You say standing. Right? You're standing only, just standing. If you observe it's true, just standing and touching. So when you notice the touching, keep your mind on the touching of your left sole and the floor. Right sole and the floor alternate. So you can use only touching, that's fine. Say touching your left sole and floor. And the next touching should be right sole and floor, touching. You see, always very too easy for you. Just put two, standing, touching, touching. That's for a standing meditation. And during meditation retreat, the time of practicing meditation is from the first moment you wake up until you fall asleep, but continuously. Someone, when they practice meditation, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and then just talking, it's not right. Just do something else, it's not right. It should be continuous. Right? This for meditators who are practice meditation, want to make this meditation continuously. And for general practice in our daily life, so we should know that too. It's not like we're talking about the walking meditation, 6 sections. For normal people, they cannot do. They cannot, very difficult for them. So for general practice in daily life, we should know that. What way is good to practice. We should know that. So your contemplation should be started at the moment you wake up. And when you sit getting up from bed, mindfulness should be directed every movement of the body. And for meditators who are practice in meditation retreat, should be every details of the body's activity should be aware of. So if you intend to get up, get out of bed, there's no intending. You say intending. If you prepare to move the body into position, so you have to, from lying down, you have to get up, right? And then for the sitting down, right? From the lying to the sitting, you have to know, stop preparing, and then when you are sitting position, now from lying down, now you are sitting. When you're sitting, know it's sitting. Should you remain sitting for any length of time, maybe a few minutes or 5 minutes, you don't want to go to wash your face right away, and revert to contemplating the abdominal movement of rising and falling, or any kind of your main object. Should make it slowly. And you get up, now where you have to go, as we're talking about the impurity of our body, we cannot go to work, we can go to the party, we have to go to restroom, you have to go take a shower, you have to wash our face. So, for washing face and taking a bath or taking a shower or dressing, we should make a mental note, should be aware of every physical activities get involved. So when you perform the act of washing the face, or be mindful of every activities get involved, such as looking, seeing, and so on. So from your bed, and you walk to, for maybe the restroom to wash your face. So walk at least, walking. Be aware of your walking. And when you going to wash your face, you will stop for a while. You say stopping. Now you look at the water faucet. You make a mental note, just looking. You see something maybe soap or water or mop, something like that in front of you. You see something, just seeing, seeing, seeing. And then you want to take the mop for washing your face, and then you stretch your hand. When you stretch your hands, be aware of the stretching and make a mental note, stretching. And when you hold the mop, be aware of the holding and make a mental note, holding, holding. And you know when you hold the mop, you feel the touching. And then be aware of the touching, make a mental touching, touching. And maybe you want to turn the water, start turning, and it's turning. And you take this water to wash your face. When you wash your face, maybe you feel cold. When you feel cold, be aware of the feeling cold. And make a mental note, cold. Cold, you know it's cold. So, and then maybe you wash your face, you rub your face with soap. At that moment, be aware of the rubbing. And make a mental note, rubbing, rubbing, rubbing. And when you withdraw your hands, just withdrawing, just make a mental note. So until you finish, wash your face. And for taking a shower, if you turn the water, just turning, you bend, just make a mental note. It's the bending. Be aware of the bending and make a mental note, the bending. If you start handle soap, so make a mental note, just start handling. And if you rub your body, just rubbing. If you feel cold, just make a mental note, cold. If you feel warm, just make a mental note, warm. So every this movement, every mental process. This after you finish, wash your face. It's not only wash your face, what we need to do? We have to brush our teeth, right? So at least you brush your teeth, just brushing. It's not too fast, you cannot concentrate on it. Should be slowly, right? Slowly brushing, something like that. As if you rinse your mouth, just rinsing. When you change your robe, when you change your clothes, and then you will take off your old clothes or the night clothes, something like that. Just be aware of this the taking, the movement, just the taking off. When it's putting new clothes, just start putting on or dressing. When you stretch your hand, just be aware of the stretching. Make a mental note, stretching. When you raise up your hand, just make a mental note, raising. You prepare your dress, just preparing. Maybe you look at the mirror, just looking. Maybe you see your picture in the mirror, just seeing. And then you want to turn around, just turning. And you walk, it's walking. This all is meditation. Right? So we need to practice that every day after we know the technique. It's for washing the face and taking a bath or dressing. For the drinking, when you drink water, drink water, you go to the place, you set out the water, and look at the water faucet, you make a mental note, start looking, When you see the water, you see seeing. You stretch your hand, just stretching. You touch to the marks, you use the cup, just touching. Each step, it brings to your mouth, just bringing. When the cup touch to your lip, your mouth, just make a mental note touching. Should you feel cold at the touch, and then just make a mental note cold. When you want to swallow the water, just swallowing. And when you withdraw your hand, just make a mental withdrawing. When you bring down your hand, it's the bringing. So even as you go to drink water, you can practice meditation at that moment. And in the action of eating, just every day, at least we eat 2 or 3 times a day. So in the action of eating, when you are taking food, you should be aware of every action, every activity involved in the act of eating. When you move your hand, just be aware of the movement of the stretching. You make stretching. When your hand is touched to the food or touched to the spoon, maybe you use a spoon. You will take the spoon. Just be aware of the touch of the sensation. Make touching. Right? Touching. And when you hold this food or maybe the spoon, be aware of the sensation of holding. And maybe use spoon, use soup, maybe hold the spoon, maybe dip into the dish. At that moment, be aware of the dipping moment. Make a mental note, dipping. When it's taking, it's taking. When it brings, the bringing. Just all activities that must be noted, must be observed. So when you look at on the table a lot of dishes, you say looking. You see anything on the table, just seeing. When you arrange something, just arranging. When you bring something, just bringing. When you take something, you need to bend down a little bit when you eat, right? At that moment, be aware of the bending of your body and make a mental note, the bending. And you take or maybe use your hand, maybe use spoon. When you touch the spoon or the food to your mouth, you make a mental note touching. When you place in your mouth, just placing. After placing, you need to close your mouth and then make a mental note closing. So very detailed closing. After you close your mouth, what you have to do? It's not chew yet. Withdraw your hand. Start withdrawing. When your hand touch the table, touch to any part of your body, just touching. And then you already put right. You have straight your body. You are straightening. And then when you chew the food, just chewing. Start. When you know the taste, this spice, this is sweet, this sour, something like that. Just make a mental note. It's knowing. It's knowing. This is good. You don't have that kind of feeling, right? You just know it. Just knowing. When you intend to swallow, just intending. When you swallow it, just swallowing. When it touch to go through your throat, you feel the sensation of touching, just touching. So when you eat, Just try to practice that as much as you can. Right? At least chewing. So you must be mindful of your action and proceeding with contemplation. Right? Contemplation, as I told you last week. Now contemplation or observing or noting, all this term is meant the act of keeping the mind fixedly on the object with a view knowing clearly. Your mind's not go anywhere. That's for the eating. Here, in brief, so on every act of seeing, just make a mental note, seeing. So on every occasion of hearing, just concentrate your mind on the ear. Just make a mental note, hearing. You get any smell, concentrate your mind on your nose. Just make a mental note, smelling. When you eat something, you will know the taste. Just every occasion of knowing the taste, just make a mental note, tasting. In the case of knowing or feeling, the sensation of touch in the body, so any kind of mental state should be noted. If we pain, just pain. If we numb, just numb. If it's hot, just hot. If you think about something, just thinking. Your mind start wander, just make wandering. So, as the case may be, this mindfulness must be applied to all posture of the body. Or suppose we have 4 posture, right? Standing, sitting, walking, lying down. And also the small movements, such as stretching your hand or your legs, or bending, or looking around, right? Looking forward, or sideways, something like that. You should be aware of every posture, even a small movement. Your mental note of each rising, falling, just the movement, must be made while it occurs. If your main object is breathing and breathing out, this your noting should be while the object occurs. Should be present moment. And when you make a mental note on your abdomen as the primary object, you are not concerned with the form of abdomen, right? But here, what you actually perceive is that the body sensation of pressure. If abdomen pressure is extension and contraction, with the form of this, what you actually perceive is the body sensation of pressure just caused by this extension and contraction movement of the abdomen. So when you practice on your nostril respiration, you can supposed to see the form of your nose should be the sensation of touching. Right? If you practice rising, falling on your abdomen, if you see the form of your stomach, this concept is not reality, it's not right. It's not right. If you see your nose, any form is not right. That should be the sensation of touching. And also, avoid or rapid the breathing for the purpose of making the abdominal movements more distant. Because, oh, it's not my stomach, it's the movement of my stomach is not clear. It's the, you make the rapid, it's not right. It should be normal. Everything should be normal. This according to the Vipassana meditation technique. Now we're talking about the general practice in our daily life. And for the walking this walking meditation is very useful for everyone. Everyone's the sense to get up in the morning until they go to sleep by going in and out, up and down, back and forth, several times a day. Maybe one day he happens to walk thousands of steps in their daily life, but generally the people forget to contemplate on even though one step. You can see the people around you who don't know how to practice this meditation. Get up in the morning until they fall asleep, they walk many steps. They don't contemplate on even though one step. Indeed. So, as all of you know, the practicing meditation is not only at the time of sitting, but also other postures. Therefore, you can practice this mindfulness meditation in any time, anywhere, and any posture. In this regard, the people who have to work hard cannot devote their time for regular sitting meditation. It's need to observe their mind on the movement of their steps. By mindful of the stepping as much as possible and make a mental note as walking. Only walking this enough, right? By this way, you will be able to concentrate your mind on the movements of your foot. Collectively, the noting time will not be less than 1 hour during a day. See, very useful for everyone. Whenever you go, even at home, just walk in and out, up and down, back and forth. Some you have to go outside, go to work. Sometimes Jenga, just walk all the time, 8 hours, right? Just think about something, it's not right. So if they know this practice way, very useful for people. Just walking, to be aware of the movements, the walking. Just make a minute, be observe on this walking. For them, for one day, see, maybe, as I told you, collectively, the noting times may be more than 1 hour. It's not necessary to say that I don't have time to practice meditation. You already practiced, right, for the walking. Even though you have to work 8 hours a day, you can sit and relax with contemplating on the rising and falling of abdomen, of the movement of your abdomen, or in your breathing and breathing out, in your break time. So we do not work 8 hours through, we still have break time. So make it in your break time.